This is a project brought about by the families of those who have died and their organs have been used in transplants. And they have got the most incredible stories. It's called a recognition artwork in a really interesting way. They didn't want a memorial, and I think that's really important. They've been working with the poet John McAuliffe, and then when he had worked with families, they carried on working with myself and Liam, the ceramicist, and we've made it manifest, really, and it's going to be unveiled this afternoon.
It was a collaboration between the organ donor families, lead artists and clinicians led by Lime Arts.
I'm really looking forward to meeting the families again. We've met quite a lot over the last 4 years. We've had all sorts of workshop sessions, discussions, meetings, art making sessions, poetry workshops, things like that. We've got to know each other. I love them. It's been very moving at times.
It's been amazing, so exciting, a lovely project. Enjoyed meeting the other families actually, the 3 other families really, because I'd never met any other donor families, and also meeting some of the recipients at Bridgewater. That was really good.
The journey has been as important as the end result, if I'm honest, from our point of view, and it's really shown how important art and creativity can be in actually helping with bereavement and grief.
The way that you feel so comfortable in the environment within the studio and to talk about your experiences, and actually when you start opening up it's probably very different than what you first maybe interpret it as being, and I can't stress enough how comfortable everybody's made you feel, how open the environment's been to talk about what donation means to you, and also the positives but the negatives towards it as well. It's been a really raw, emotive experience that has been incredible to be part of.
It's been an education for me, certainly. I felt really, really lucky to spend time with the nursing team, with the anaesthetists, and then with the families as well of the organ donors, who have been just wonderful people to work with. A lot of the work is just trying to interview them to try to understand a little bit about the processes and the sense that their loss, which remains so profound, is also part of kind of great work that the hospital here does and that hospitals all around the UK do.
It feels like it's ours, it feels like it represents our children, our loved ones who have donated organs, and that really mattered. And I've always had a bit of a mental block that I'm not an arty person, and it's actually showed me that I actually have enjoyed it.
I have hand lettered all the panels for the poem, all 8 panels, and this is a rubbing stone of the first few lines. I'm hoping people will come along and do their own rubbing and take away a piece of the poem.
And what's been wonderful is to hear stories of how the people that are given this new life, given these organs, keep in touch with the families in some cases. In a lot of cases, it's like part of their son or daughter lives on.
Dawn and Sam now, the team at Lime, just kind of kept me engaged constantly with the process, so there was no cut-off. And then Liam, of course, is such a gentleman, and Stephen, that they would just keep, when they were doing the meetings about the work, and they would drop me kind of like a draft of the poem, just to check that they hadn't inserted apostrophes where they weren't and things like that, as simple as that. But I really felt like I was part of the process all the way along, and it's just incredibly rewarding.
The words of the poem and the way they're illustrated in the tile are so moving and actually bring to life the feelings of the families of organ donors. And actually it's such a great gift, isn't it, that someone gives something that gives someone another chance of life. It's Organ Donor Week. This is such a special day.
We think it's amazing. I mean, the fact that it's directly on a bus route is the best thing that we could have hoped for. As an organ donation team, what we're seeing a lot of is that although the law changed in 2020, not many people have spoke about their wishes of if they would want to become an organ donor or not. And so when you're faced with making that decision at the most traumatic, horrendous time of your life for your families, that's a big, big ask. But for those that have been able to speak about and share their decision before we get into that situation, it really helps them support their wishes. And this is a piece of artwork that people will look at and talk about, and hopefully on the bus or when they get home they might mention, oh, did you see the artwork? And it will generate that very important conversation that quite literally saves the lives of other people.
What's been really special about this project is the involvement of the families from the start right through to the finish, and how the artists, the lead artists, have ensured that there's been trust built between the families and the artists to open up and share their own personal stories.
These are real families who've gone through real grief and lost someone that they love very dearly, and to use that experience and to encourage people to talk about their donation decision and to help support us as organ donation nurses, we really can't thank people enough.
All the magic that we see here on the wall has come from the donor families, the artists, the poets, and the amazing knitting of that all together that Dawn and her team at Lime Arts have done, which is really a tribute to that organisation and how important it is for us to realise the ability of marrying our clinical services to patients and the public in something that's really meaningful, as this project you see behind you there.
So I just want to say thank you to the donor family, to Lime, MFT Lime, for putting this artwork together, and the artists as well, and the donor family who've contributed to the project. I just want to say thank you.